Today's short video will be how to modify a power steering pump so it will flow enough and have enough pressure to run hydroboost, assisted ram steering, 1.5-inch cylinder, turn 40-inch tires through a 4x4x2 forward steering box. And as you can see, this pump was at one time modified by PSC, and I have talked to Kelvin down there, and he's given me a couple of pointers to help get this pump to do what I need it to do. First off, you'll just need a 1-inch wrench to be able to take off this fitting. It's the high pressure fitting. And of course, you need to pull the pulley off for what I'm doing, because the original pulley was almost 1-for-1 with the engine crankshaft pulley. Would not spin fast enough at idle to be able to pump enough fluid and have enough pressure to be able to turn the steering wheel fast enough at idle. It felt like you were up against the ram, like the ram would not fill fast enough. So it's very common. So I've talked to Kelvin, and he said put on this 4.5-inch diameter pulley. The CB pump, which is the style which was used like the Saginaw on so many different applications across the board for GM, has very high flow and very high pressure from the factory. And when I measured the pressure on this, the last time I did it, it was 1,350 PSI at idle. And with this new check valve, they say I should easily be at 1,600. And with the smaller diameter pulley, I'm going to have 250 more RPM at idle. And then the only other modification that needed to be done was I did this last week before I received the new check valve. You pull out the output fitting, and it's not stepped down, but it was only originally at 0.140 diameter, very small, considering the rest of the system is at 3/8 of an inch ID. And then Kelvin said, drill it out to 0.187. So I did, and that helped a tremendous amount at idle. And then the other thing is to put in a new check valve. Looks identical to the old one. I'm sure all that's different is the internal spring pressure. So 1,600 PSI instead of what I had before was 1,350, increasing 250 RPM at idle. It's almost 23% or so reduction in size, so it should make that much difference for RPM. Should be good to go. So take that 1-inch wrench, take the output shaft out, drill it out to 0.187, pull the check valve out from inside, replace it with the one from PSC, put the different pulley on, and you're good to go. Always use the proper puller and make sure that you never hammer the pulley into place. It's extremely hard on the bearings inside the pump, and you're good to go. That's it. I'll report back on part 2 to let you know how the upgrades worked. I'm really pleased just with the increase in the orifice size on the outlet and the pulley diameter, increasing the RPM by about 22 to 23%. Should make a world of difference. So good luck. This worked for me. Hope it works for you if you decide to take it on.